Hey, it's your boy DJWOLF here. Got a couple things on my mind this morning. Was watching the new Roots. It's out there, was on the History Channel and Lifetime, and I think it was on A&E too, if I'm not mistaken. In any case, I'm sitting here watching it, and I just realized so far how much better that this version of Roots is compared to the original one. The original was symbolic because of its presentation as a miniseries. It was one of the first big it was among the first big miniseries to ever be on television that generated huge numbers. It had megastar power. This one has megastar power as well. But for some reason, this Roots is different from the old one. The old one was a little bit more like, I'm trying to find how to describe. The intensity was not as aggressive as it is in this version of Roots. I can honestly say that. It's more intense. It's more, to me, it's more akin to what was really going on during the slave trade and during slavery as a whole. The TV version. The TV version was just slightly watered. That was a little watered down compared to this version. This version is gut wrenching. It's heartbreaking. It's very heartfelt. And like I said before, I had nothing personal against Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is one of my favorite rappers of all time. That's real talk. I just don't like the comment that he made about that. I mean, it was his opinion. I'll be honest, it's his opinion. But to sit there and say they don't need to be making movies about your history, that's where I draw the line. You do need to know about your history. Slavery really did happen. Slavery did happen in America. People actually were brought over here. Africans were brought over here by ship from Africa. Okay? Let's be real about that. If you're an African American, have been born as an African American from generations, especially the last 4 or 5 generations, chances are your ancestors were slaves. Okay? Let's be honest about that. And that is your history. Slave movies ain't the only movies they've done about African Americans. And if you have a problem with the way they do movies, then maybe it's time you start doing your own stuff and stop waiting on other people to put it out there for you. That's kind of our problem with our society as a whole. We're always waiting for somebody to do something else for us. Instead, you take a stand on your own. I'm going to be making some announcements this week regarding that. I'm working on some projects now where it involves me taking a stand on my own in terms of me trying to aggressively get launch my YouTube channels off the ground, as well as some other projects I'm working on. Because at this point, it's about having some type of not only business wealth for yourself, but also to be able to teach others about getting a good education, because education is everything. I've said that in the video a couple of days ago, and I truly mean that. Now, sometimes you got people, and I've seen where I have friends, had jobs where they work 10, 12 hours a day, and they get a chance to do that, because some employers will put you out there and, hey, you work these crazy hours, and you don't have a chance to get the kind of education you need, because of the hour schedule, so best that you try to go ahead and get yourself situated with some education. Education, I'm telling you, is key. It really is. That's why I think it is important for you to know about your history. They don't even teach black history in schools. I was shocked when my son told me a number of years ago, and his school did not teach black history. I was very shocked. And it's a damn shame in 2016 that they don't teach black history the way they should. And then on top of that, they try to tell you, I think it was Texas or somewhere, where they try to downplay slavery. Say, well, that it really was more like indentured servants. That's bullshit. Slaves were not indentured servants. They were slaves. The indentured servant is not exactly forced against their will. A slave is forced against their will. I also did a video some time ago where a preacher, preachers of Atlanta, I'm not going to say his name. I really need to. But if you watch the show, you might know who I'm talking about. He got a little bit of a loud mouth. Yes, I said it. I have nothing against him personally. I just didn't like the comment he made. This dude tried to say slavery was like a job. Now, he might have been kidding about it. But really, think about what you're saying. You're in the media. You're a gospel artist. You're a pastor, for God's sakes. An African-American pastor at that. And you're making goofy statements like this? Talking about, slavery was like a job back for people back then? Bullshit. Can't be like a job if you're working 24/7 and your family is with another family, doing God knows what against their own will as well, and you are separated from them, and they beat you just because you're a slave, treat you like a dog. In some cases, they rape and pillage you, and you're telling me it's just like a job? Well, if it ain't a job like that, I don't want that motherfucker. I'm going to tell you that right up front. So to the pastor from Preachers of Atlanta, really, I'm going to say this, brother. You need to be a little bit more responsible in things that you say. Because you'll have people thinking that, it wasn't that bad. Really? I'm surprised that he didn't get a backlash on that. And I'm going to be honest, he should have. He should have got a backlash on that. Because to sit there and make a stupid statement like that to me was offensive. To me, my people, and my history. Drop the mic, bitch. This is DJWOLF. All right, that's all I got to say about it right now. I'm getting a little tested by it because of what was said. So I got more to say about this on the back burner. Hit me up on the emails for alltohere@gmail.com and for alltohere on Twitter. And of course, your comments on YouTube for Alltohere TV. This is DJWOLF. Again, like I said, I got more shit on the back burner. I'll talk to you guys later.